Abejafo et nas already seated Honorable Ebenezer Nina Nati. Ya medical amano akwa ba da share nso Mpensenpensenmu max buy and afi Absa SME loan your story matters and oma so asene me de Mpensenpensenmu no ye de brewo Honorable akwa ba bi o.
Yeah, CJ.
Anapay. In fact, I've taken time to talk about BBC expose. Yeah, one more Ediabetuja on the flooding of opioids, which are a class of drugs they treat pain, but can also be highly addictive. In fact, Vinod Sharma, the company ni Evio, and we invented concoction. My friend poison, and waka enroll pentadol and carisoprodol wakabumu, and these drugs are globally illegal, but Ghana, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire kahu enroi enenamha. In fact, we rebranded under these names: Timakin, Tafrodol, and Super Royal 225. Ya Ghana ha in Rono Efaha. In the documentary, he admitted, say Nigeria and say Oma tighten on borders into Ghana and Omutimidi in Rono Edefa. When Nigerian authorities were questioned, they also blamed Ghana, saying Rono, Nigeria the intimate but and I'm Ghana unapproved routes. And Rono Ebaho Nana pay. I am shishia because honorable I'm also a parent. Enroy in Tamale especially, and I pay Facebook comments near the Ghana how their places are young men, young girls and boys. One more enormous enroy now my high, and the side effect say oh no do draw a cause of breathing problems and seizures. One no more overdose let me cry a kum. And I pay me year commentary on sa expose ye and I be phone lines. Now a tier 4 poured out their anger and frustration on this same issue. Now Mami Bakwa or sending me voice note. I just want to play that voice note. Na etime asset tone for our conversation. Yentie Mami, he's a parent of fighting sa enuboni ewonisi yentie no.
CJ, good morning. Asama muka no pe mama me raho masusa me woni amenya me ho. Me back 25 years was I doing when person 4 years. Yes, I kwala when person bedchai. Ye wo baby okosua I we free. Obe free school beba. Akola iti fie ni baby. Akola we wi school on the final year. Akola we buy pe. Akola we secondary school buy pe. Akola we super ya sisa. Ni papa kokano ni papa ntokwa. Wo obeko koye bia no treti wo so obebo. Ujimi obabu CJ anapawe me woni emenye me o mesu asa me woni emenye me paya chisemo me ni baby corona se baby yana no befre this sister so pesika uja send money wi asa me baya ye basa Idris me bayi o CJ.
Enti, who is flooding West Africa with these opioids? Honorable
CJ. It's very sad. About 2 weeks ago, and me fa me timi fie ni me opposite na boy be abet na ho. Honorable offend more than 10 times me fie no. na obi timi nchen na nipa ne ka che me se honorable o pointi akwani omofie e kire me na o che me the parents. He's the only child of the mother. Mamini Wusika. But sad drugs. Yeah. Now, CJ, very nice boy. Very nice boy. I know. In fact, I've had opportunity to watch the video. In fact, it got to a point in my because also when they started showing baby those that be addicted.
Yes.
Nothing on my na man. But the question that you ask ourselves say, yeah, you see sometimes CJ, I don't blame or these are inferior and bad drugs about this country. But I blame the people that are in authority as well as the people that have been put in charge. Nigeria has been able to tighten their borders. So won't me fanko. But in our case here, government and also an institution has been put in charge. So we are in charge of our borders. Senebeya in comfort and for small goods and the ember. Senebeya in comfort and for nyama and se and fata and ragana hanum. Senebeya in comfort and taking advantage of our governance. I just don't comfort talk car free defense say Togo ni Nigeria and this how we know they are because all in the name of say duty. It was so. Say you go there and buy it and bring it. We have people at the border areas, immigration officers, customs officers, and to some extent, we have even health workers now in these our border areas. Narcotic control board for national security for but because our greediness and our selfish interests, they were allowed in because of the Sika Diaba. CJ, apart from this grab, Tramo, where when you are in a very critical condition, and I said it before, but now it's something that, and sometimes I always ask myself, the people that are more operating drugstores, I'll be calling for precision by saying what why do they hide it Tramo no and Omuton? Because he knows that near all you know and yet. But people go there, they have a group of people and people will be parading themselves. At the detriment of the people that are suffering. And so ton tramo. Look, CJ. Look, mim faun kofa. Just go to the higher. Start from my constituency, from Abubrushi. I have to Urebe hope. I'm telling you. When you get to Agbobroshi, Bebe Pamu on your market, on your sellers, no.
Yeah.
Now the Agbobroshi inside now. CJ, you cry. She Muhaya Odona. Odona Haya. I'm afraid baby Echo Mok. Just go there and have a look. And CJ, recently, I was working with Regional Minister Titus Glover. Or Hoshie. I think somewhere other friends saying middle of the year last year, and we went there. When you look at young girls, young guys between the ages of 12 and your friend is saying 18, 20, and when you see them, rebel. But the point is that look at how sad the woman is. Why yet obey? But the point is, CJ, how do we deal with the people who are put in charge? The immigration, the custom officers, the BNI people, and the national security for no more borders, no? How do we deal with your friend is saying Ministry of Health? In one way or the other, you might have people in the Ministry of Health who give authority to certain people to bring certain things.
Honorable Referee FDA.
Yes, Food and Drugs Board. And all these institutions no cannot tell me, say, they are not aware, say, some of these drugs are in the market and it's creating problem for the youth in this country. I'll not be so. They can't tell me because there are people who have been put in authority. See, look, I always say that the problem of this country is not the people outside, because of our selfish and greedy interests because to make money. No. This man have your friend is saying an agent in this country. The agents no have a link in most of the institutions I identify bar obey. And then me bano, I was talking to somebody and the person was telling me a story of certain things that people do. You better cry or your diaba. Now your castle was saying it, like I was like, really? Some of us will continue to say we will not get money because there are certain things we will not do, but others will do to get what they want. But the point is that how long are you going to survive, or how long are you going to live on the things that you are claiming? Say when ya. CJ, you see, when I watched the video, first I was like I was doubting from the beginning who say Ghana until say me who joy for and then show say northern region.
Yeah.
And I saw one guy in black. No so no like on to me nyeshi. I was like I mean, why all these things? CJ, look, let's get hold of the one who brought this drugs to this country. And I can tell you within 10-15 minutes, he will be released. Within 10-15 minutes. But say, see, the arm these drugs have cost the youth of this country. It will be a disaster. Maybe I'm catching comfort and look. It is not about your friend is saying, I was advising some group of people, youth. Let me catch on and say, look, there are 3 things when you do, or maybe there are certain things when you do as a youth, there's no way you prosper in life. Drugs, any your friend is saying, insanum, those things will not help. Look, when we're young, and that's the mommy can't pepe, your next house, young guy broke into his mother's bedroom. It's a sad mommy good and in Tuma. The guy was then in a decided college. Or cocaine. When the guy was arrested, I didn't call police station, didn't buy. Say no mommy. You know
about time.
No, no me to her no better and change. Now maybe Sunday say, okay. Now these things that you do, no, and then how do you feel? Say, hey Ben, mommy can't tell. Say unum cocaine sa. Na say unyesika. Na say sika no kra wo mommy na kumemu. It will force you to kill your mother and take the money from her. See, really? Look, yeah. Let me say, so you know, say, yeah. So why do you control? Because he's addicted. I remember when I was in KNUST, my hostel, young guy, onumunsa, onumwi, adamfu ya, and odi obiechi, omuko man sa win sanbi, CJ, the guy that evening, and then their friends at KNUST hospital. Because that was the guy's first time. And all because of some certain attitudes in the secondary schools. In the became my first time. I have not been to the university, and I visited a friend at Legon. I think somewhere in 2000, 2002, 2003 thereabouts. Do what I'm saying? Michael, na school na mo ton san na mo yewe. Also, this is called university, and this is the whole world. Everything is in the university. But you see, there are some parents who are only me say, go school. You give him or her this amount of money. Your son come or your daughter come back from school, he's driving a car. you don't even care where he get the car from. And you would just say me buy then ekita car. You see, we are living in a CJ, and then look at what is happening in our secondary schools. Look at what is happening in our secondary schools. And for university people there, so because say be mature people. But look at our secondary schools today. What is happening there? All because people have associated themselves with their friends, a certain group of people and certain friends. I listened to one man of God. It's to Anaba.
Yeah.
Obey a program where Academy, and I had the opportunity to go. And the team that he was talking about is the pressure of the people. Because of the way people in obedience, let me also go and do it.
Yeah.
But you might not be lucky. There will be somebody, there are certain people, they will deceive you. They will fool with you, and no matter what baby no there. But you will think that, oh, as for my brother or my sister there, many na they agro. Results bebano, he has made it.
Yeah.
Now work actually. Because of the pressure that you are getting from the people. But see, with this thing there, I want to appeal to government as a matter of urgency, say. We should look for the one who brings the drugs in this country.
One share documentary the documentary and their investigative journalists traces the distributor and the importer of Sir Edroin to Samus Farmer, Ghana. Samus Farmer. Now, as by November 2024, now Samus Farmer imported more than 6 million of opioids and other drugs from PRG Pharma of India, and by November.
So 6 million, you still have a lot in the system. A lot will be in the system. And CJ, the company has been named, but as I said from the beginning, you let the security, let the national security, let the police go there, get the owner arrested, close the shop. I can tell you, in 24 hours, it will be open, the person will be released. Because there will be change of hands. Because there are people who have interest. They are beneficiaries of all architects, ideas, at the result of the youth of this country. As a result of people that are struggling to take care of their children. But other people want to benefit, to destroy life. CJ, you just go here. It's a walking distance. I'm telling you. I'm afraid baby, Odono markets, no. I see, no.
Yeah.
That side, you cry. Not link you to your friend and saying, how do you call it? Agbobushi. And apart from this, now the drugs now we hear honum. CJ, ube call here bubo dying. Kitting, prostitution. And then you can see a girl of 12 years, 10 years, 15 years. And we ask ourselves, what's the future of this country? It's serious. It is very serious. But I hope and believe, say, since the company has been named, the Ministry of Health, and I know my brother, the zeal at which he was in opposition, Kobra,
Minta Kando,
the way and manner he was on the Ministry of Health when he was the ranking of health, I know he would take a drastic measures.
Honorable, let me take you to the mandate of the FDA.
Yeah.
Na komo. Protecting public health and safety by regulating the sale, import, and distribution of food, drugs, and other products. That is the mandate of the Food and Drugs Authority.
CJ,
and
the question we need to ask ourselves, mandate the Food and Drugs Board.
Omi authority.
Yes.
Board.
Authority. Yes. Did they check the sales of the drugs and nyama omo check omo? But I have a friend there about 2 weeks ago, but I lost her contact. So I called the husband. I mean, so me need to me too wife can't my number. So him says, so how long have you worked there? No, so 10 years. I'm saying, so what do you do? Or so Momo or your friends say inspection division.
Yeah.
And so what do you expect? Then she was educating me as to what they are doing. And I was like, but you still go to the market. So you want to do Christmas, They themselves will come out and list of items.
Yeah.
Say, don't buy this, don't buy this, don't buy this. How did the things get into this country? Everybody said they buy. Because there are people that are doing all these things. And sometimes there are some of the things that Obe say, I say, expiring date, then they will relabel it. Then they will sell it to the people. Sometimes we will call money, we will call market. We will, they will me turn 200 cedis last time. They say about 50 Ghana. Hey, what did you so? Who told you now they are coffee? You go who force why you fool. But and your fool now wanyano. But you are and I'll do coffee because it has a spy. For him or her to lose money, then let me go and give it to the poor person. Because there are certain things, me honestly, not that I have, but hardly do sometimes buy things from a friend is saying. At least nipa ko chinchinchiana oba na onya one bar be na why now they be see now dey kakaka. But for me, I want to make a passionate appeal to my brother Akando. Say, look, as a matter of urgency, they need to move in to see to it, say, these things are, these drugs are bad. Now the company has been, when you trade that, you can get where the company is located. Get whoever is in charge. Let's see how bad we can retrieve. 6 million, that's what they were turn 3 million krana. 3 million akano. You how we can retrieve their other market. They are you how best we can get those ones and deal with it. Other than that, all of us, our life is at risk. I'm telling you, CJ. All of us. Some of us, the training that we have had, and as when we were young, some of the people that we grew up with, and you look at the situation, sometimes you can say, because sometimes when I watch or I see some people, I always ask myself, what difference was this people, parents, and mine? That I have go through this thing, and you see my age mate and living this kind of life. But sometimes you go to some of them. See, as I said, look at the woman. I don't think this woman that who is crying will ask his son or daughter to be involving himself into drugs abuse. And I can tell this woman might be very prayerful, be praying for the son almost every time. But today, look, across secondary school, thinking says he's going to continue the son to the university and come and take care of her. Look at today the situation that she finds herself. Very sad. At the detriment of Obi benefit or person Eden Onya.
Adom 106.3 FM, Honorable Ebenezer Nina Nati. And my encourage for Honorable say documentary BBC contacted this importer, and in fact they disputed all the claims. Actually said they are a licensed company, and dealing in any illegal drugs. That was the only response that they gave to the BBC.
So how did
let's place that on record.
So how did the drugs came into the country? Because when the trace was directed to their office, so and this is causing harm. So where say your friend is saying how do you call it? A basin of drugs nearby. That's what I'm saying. So you see, one thing is that we always want to raise issues. At the end of the day, we will find excuse to it, and that will be the end of it. Because you are the importer. You import the drugs to this country.
But you think we can blame them, when we have a regulatory body?
Oh, CJ, you will blame them and blame the regulatory authority as well. Because, fine, then the regulatory authority will come and check. Anameboa. So unko farm buyer, how the regulatory authority come in? So you brought it. And when you brought it, they came to check. And when they came to check, then did they give you the mandate to sell it? And whoever gave you the money to sell it, the person need to be dealt with according to law. And the person who also brought it need to be dealt because also said so you also need to be dealt with according to law. Because all of you are guilty. Because what of Papa Ba say Obara on check who say Papa, what would they say? They don't say anything. But how did they even give them the clearance for them to start distributing it to they are distributed in the various pharmaceutical shops? So you cannot just tell me say, oh, because of your friend saying, how do you call it?
Member of Parliament for Chufu Atimokwa. But what's now turning Yapon. Honorable David T.D. Von D. Okay, but honorable, my honorable Akwaba.
Charlie. Meda semenwea.
Asopeni.
Aye.
Kron
me rade. Kron me rade.
Lansela mo area ho.
Sir.
We call you for him man to pass. Yes. Yes. Adom TV. Yeah. We were there. Honorable Mama Akwabe we beba BBC documentary. I'm say oba na wutie the discussion on it. But putu pro yanya ntie say a school for more Odogono Senior High. One more as main awoshi kwano. Traffic light and yaduma. Now, honorable, this traffic light issue. Me joining multimedia about 6 years ago. I took it as a project on my show. A complaining, because on a daily basis, carbon for. Now, school for you so woman traffic light or some traffic light in yaduma. So you can imagine what they've been going through. Kwadwo Mensa Abrompa. My name Musini. Kwadwo Mensa. Hey, me bato etie formula Facebook. School phone ni nyina. Eno ma begu kwan so no. Traffic light no ase hwa. Ona bo hwe video na da Facebook no. School phone ni nyina. Eno mo show mo school uniform. Omo se na omo nsua de. Eno ma begu kwan so. Omo si kwan no. Kwadwo Mensa bo mama ne de na ekoso odogono.
The CJ police for Abemwa. We two ama esuafo na wo okwane mu ni na no we fuo akọ school no mu sesia it kata say security for oba no abomodern ama esuafo ni na akọhye Odogono Senior High School inside that sesia wa hye adesua na adetrase na CJ nza odnam do ma na pe esuafo obogu kan do ni there the music kana kan traffic light our school main gate now no pay no onyaza oyejuma iti se cars no wareba there abafo rutwamu so ntwamu dabere bia nya na adwen there oya obegina amasuafo wetum ansana wachiado wachira Friday ya na security kura oda Odogono school na no hade orutwa car kwanu anam the traffic light in ejumenti na car no ball na wama wachia na nandu owo nshedo Babeya yelka no ha say friend Benjamin Akiti do school food do our friend Uncle Ben onam traffic light on ye humanity onam do Uncle Ben watch out and animal shed no ono na suafo na awofo bi no ma what teach around on kan with people there say wan ya kire amma pe ku emu nya onya there obo so da traffic light na no asema anche da bi Debra Uncle Ben wa fado wa kono ansha na suafo ne bi so obotum afado akodam honestly na na pe wona mdo a where da man yekire na so police say this year wa ma suafo ni ku kwa mu a kwani dem a ahyan warrior eduma CJ.
Okay, how long na sa demonstration in a course ansa na police for no wo mo ebem kwado
CJ I was say and a pastor ni na say was say the jump wo be on our body na wo dey na on was say the wo go kwano don't wo kwano da chere kaka ansa na police for no reba oba aba shade wo be fu na za wa kan there inde ye da wuzikan da penny easy edwuma wo be dan nti hye mpanyimfo anhwɛ no abɛhwɛ traffic light no anhwɛ ne ya na na power ba traffic obina kwan no mu dama ansana nti wa hye ase na edi yɛnhwɛ wɔ n'enyima da fia fitin dɛ kopi fia da de edwuma wo be di ɛwɔ kwan no do anyi kɔpem dɛ mpanyimfo betie wɔn su na abɛhwɛ dɛm traffic light ɔdamo sije sɛ ɛhwɛ dɛm kwan na nkasa highway na sije nyɛ traffic light na ɔwɔ dogo na enyim nkote na onye edwuma
I know
traffic light na ɔwɔ do yi na no ni na edwuma
I know
street light a ɔwɔ ha ni na so lamp holders ni na ko apo etutu nti sɛ wɔkyerɛ anadwo po na wɔrefa ha ɔno po na ɔyɛ hu kase pa nti sɛmpemfo anhwɛ na wɔntu ho na mwanza fitin na kɔpem Friday de edwuma a wobedi ɛwɔ dɛm kwan no dan
Kodwuma nsama me na wasene mfensia hɔ na Ghana no ano be say asɛm wei maka every day cabo that stretch
that particular stretch sometimes no I ask myself say street lights traffic lights upa from Ministry of Road they will tell you are not in charge. Then you call urban highways, they'll tell you are not in charge. Over Free Assembly no will tell you say that because that stretch of road no is between Central Municipal Assembly and Ablukman North Municipal Assembly. They share boundary. Mm-hmm. So we catch us enyeme. When you call the ministries and then department and agencies this one, they will tell you a different thing. CJ, share one day what banyard honum no. It's a very critical junction from this Ablukma stretch, from Malam stretch, from the N1 no Eba. This street light was off for almost about 2 years. And look, so I'm not saying say I support what the students are doing, but CJ, look, I'm not from here. Me sanko the same stretch. Me call Anya. I'm always there almost every day. There's a project I'm doing there, so I'm always there. Look, if you don't take care, and apart from the street light now, say no, there are potholes on a major street.
Yeah.
So if you don't take care, I can tell you, it will be a problem.
Say Adiesa honorable. Say Adiesa now namsa stretch this one. Honorable Vondi.
Apart from the street light, no, on media no, on say how fu.
Yeah.
A fu fiti. Your friend is saying, Bayard up to Ablekuma. A fusa. And you ask yourself, who are the people in charge? Who are the people? Is it the urban roads? Is it the highway authority? Is it the assembly? Why not do much sense? So here, and you see the sudden thing, and this is Wesley Grammar. Our because who do I had money they were inside. But this school is just on the road, our road.
Yeah.
In fact, Nipano of course school more. It is not like a crack girls. In fact, their problem is just like a crack girls. Mm-hmm. They were at school on the main street of the
it's just like a crack academy.
A crack academy.
Yeah. Honorable Vondi.
So we have baby to say Agri Memorial School.
Yes.
Our Cape Coast. Oh my year. Fly over beyond
same for every girls.
Yeah. You see, what's happening is very devastating. And then the papa as I see a source. Will be better in the bathroom collar brim. I share Bofranoa, Koskua, Adom 106.3 JSS, or the Nako to secondary school. Ubehena, not traffic light, any judgment. Not rot roni be Edinica Babo Frane Kuno, near to who Ghana. I think that these are not things that, as I say, yes, so whether you are NDC or you are an MPP, and you're political. For me, as I said 1 year, as I say, whatever, whoever you are. And your money be what? We don't need to entertain it. We don't need to entertain. I sit there now, school for secondary school for. And the team be jina kwem a demonstration as you say
traffic light
ain't you know there's no system monitoring the traffic lights that are there's no system who got traffic light one more there is no system that is monitoring to know that the traffic light way juma now
there is no central control
system
yes
pointer will be all share traffic light no signal be aba say stretch Ablekuma stretch traffic like 1 2 3 and juma there is a green signal say hanu ye juma so you have to quickly go and fix it near the bibi any was na digitization na way Look, for me, things like this, it has no political color. We have to deal with it decisively. We'll be a with Juma 1 year. Look, I mean, people need job. Fire and hire. Fire and hire. You get the right people. You just have to fire and hire, and you get the right people. Look, I have kids who are in secondary school. And by the greatest grace of God, I mean, they are in privileged schools, you know. And you know, so we share will be there. Na, I mean, not talking secondary school. Na nyama say is here. You find it difficult to appreciate, say, I mean, because see, and look, our kids they eat 6 times a day in school. Ubako school ni bi no. Eduane kra yedi man kola no kra problem. What you say? Eduane yedi man kola no ko bi sa ho say wo kra ma wo fie kra ne yedi say eduane ne man obedi ana. Do you understand? En kola ni be bre. So we don't treat our kids well. Na anye kra no say street light enye adwuma mpo a say traffic light enye adwuma mpo a en kanye secondary school de enye baby a school won kola en kola ewo. Why did we bring them on earth? See a besha won na anwema na cast enti ya bon kola hwe security officer ya ka abon ekuni owo ma wo yire. What do you say? You couldn't free. Obi just say obi enye obi ahwe.
I'm just why you do school want chepa.
Yeah, you obi ahwe. O tumi usan kola ne penasem.
The reason they are
demonstrating. For me, I think that these are all part of the resetting agenda. We must learn to hire and fire. You see, Ghana hano obi betimi abe juma late. Obi betimi abe late. No excuse. No about late and normal. You can see a starting parliament 10 o'clock. You bet me starting by 12 o'clock. I am normal. Abrochire, Obiba, no about late 5 minutes. One can be resigning. I see, so we have to be disciplined in this country. Yeah. Otherwise, you know, I am sorry, but dear students, you know, but under the constitution, everybody have the right to demonstrate.
Absolutely.
So for me, I don't feel they did anything wrong. I mean, with the greatest service, I don't think they did anything wrong.
But should we get to this point?
But that is what we've chosen for ourselves.
Absolutely. And that is wrong.
That's what we've chosen for ourselves. So for me, they are right to demonstrate. Otherwise,
yeah.
For me, His Excellency Mahama, look, it is about time we begin to hire people who are competent, fire people who are not competent, whether you are NDC, MPP, hire and fire. And I'm sure we'll get people. Because some of this, we shouldn't be talking about it. Why should we talk about it? Get a central point where all the traffic light in the metropolis is being centralized, where you can do allocation of officer. We share ABR traffic light better 200 so we share we so. We should know.
Honorable, we are talking
quick
about
response. People should go and get
rocket
it fixed.
Science. As if it's rocket science.
Now, so do you need to have university degree to know? There must be a professor.
Been there for a very long time.
I mean, things must change. Things must change, and you see, that is why I keep. Anyway,
it's because we don't allow, because the institutions are not working. You see, the Americans are there back one. As a country, it's because we don't have a political will to deal with issues, and secondly, it's because the bigger politics in this country.
We do political appointments too much.
That's our problem. Now I heard my sister Linda. Greater Accra Regional Minister.
Yeah, so I'm at 50 days. MMDs.
They say we're at 20 more. Or the street light we in account. But the point I'm making is that the same issue that she want to fight, what is hawkers on our streets. Titus Glover fights the same issue. Henry Quarter did the same thing. In fact, the one that I was believing and trusting that he could have fight was Okovanapoi. And he was succeeding. Then the national organizer, then NDC, Yao Tinja, do you know what he said? He said at the time that they were struggling to come to power, now Oko in Abo unit to US. Udwai Obo dreaming to soon now they are now Udi 2 years. Yapa appointment. Look at what we are doing. Allah. I don't know no Oko die here. Because like Oko Shasiano, Oko Shasiano, Nakaya Lao Oko Mani Ye Juma. Nakawa who succeeded Oko will continue from there. Now we have to go back again. Look, Ko baby ana onam Linda nam last week Coco body nim honum. The street has been divided into two. Hawkers over one side and I thought on one.
It's amazing.
I'm telling you.
You know, it's a nice one.
Yeah.
Look, listen. You go to that place, CMD anymore.
Yeah, on one day.
And you are driving through. In fact, for me, I have chosen never to drive through that place because you are
just like
it's a nice one. Obanyana, you ton tomatoes, Jenny, Kobe, Banchi, you ton Wakwanimu. And then you get a political actor who will tell you say about Wedru into Jai. Now you say
if they are listening, I know say if they are listening they say they will be insulting us. But me I don't care. CJ. Shebebia. CJ. Shebebia.
Every nonsense is allowed.
Shebebia Accra Poliwo.
Yeah, my boy.
CJ. Shebebia Accra Poliwo.
Yeah.
Shebebia Accra City Hotel wo.
Yeah.
Shebebia Octagon wo.
Yeah.
Shebebia Kunbu wo. One side junction na traffic light
Yeah.
no. Go and look at it. Yeah, say boutique, say deal. Just I mean, you ask yourself, what is wrong with us?
Okay.
What is wrong with us as a country?
Honorable Ben. Mame now I say now you come back to your conversation. It's still on the issue of regulations and who is in charge and all that. Another one day. Me did say when you share BBC documentary on the importation of opioids, these illegal.
Go on, my show.
Oh, Sawa.
Go on.
Until you are not aware, say there's a company in India, Mumbai, or manufacture opioids. These opioids are a class of drugs that can treat pain, but are also highly addictive. To say tramadol, yes. So
do they have Food and Drugs was clearance.
Okay, so
to bring it to this country.
Good. So that is where the conversation is. Globally, these drugs are illegal drugs.
Okay.
They are illegal. They are not accepted
and you
anywhere.
can only bring it here when it's properly regulated.
Yes.
When you are given a license, when you are controlled as to the usage of it.
Yes, but you'll be surprised that in the documentary, Ghana has now become the largest market for these opioids. In fact, Timaking, Tafrodol, Super Royal 225, these are the names of the drugs are a Ghanaian market. Yes, even Nigeria has been able to tighten its borders, according to the documentary. Until now, Ghana no many distributor.
You see?
But I treated this issue, and one woman sent me a voice note. Maybe some woman a voice note. No, what the bremen. Then I'll come to you for your take. But my woman.
CJ, good morning. Asama moka no pe mama me raho. Me raho masusa me woni amenya me ho. Me back 25 years was I doing when person 4 years. Yes, I call when person bedchai. You won't be because yes, I did we free. Or be free school baba. I call it if you baby. I call we used to go on the final year. Call we buy a pet. Call we secondary school buy a pet. I call we super sister. The papa can't on the papa and talk. Well, we go be not try to so bamboo. Ujimi obabu CJ anapawe me woni amenye me o mesu asa me woni amenye me paya chisemo me ni baby corona se baby yana no befre this sister so pesika uja send money we asa me baya ye basa Idris me bayi o CJ.
Honorable Vondi.
I say Bible say you were nyina ho kwan na so nyina na fata yen.
Sir.
You were nyina ho kwan na so ansesi ye mabrebe hye so. Na diaga na ye hu yi. Ebesi ye yie ni. Ye mada achi. Tramo aba yaka ho asem na endrondro yinso ya sese no won say BBC be ye bibi hu documentary na chese ade na aginsam ambo na chese ade no aginsam ya wo ye ho hwe enye ye aha adwene menua look into your food and drugs board will krom ha de.
They are authority now. They are not board. They are
authority.
Yes.
They have authority.
Yes.
To even crack a whip. Into your more budget there. Into a major man is saying, say near my sabbe man ye more. Omoma clearance na. Into your habo ye juma dear. A fine yaba o man ye mo. One a deba. One and yet see on say sanka bang and sesan wo man ye more. And can neno. And you might be brave or why you. Into America say whether NDC or MPP no, a breno as a sabine sisa. Na sabine sisa. A bemi and we are my bonia, air cosu near my papa, air coso, and the etimia and the ye. And neno, I think say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and in that buying NDC make a home. I said, yes, sir. The resetting agenda must include all these. We must clean the system. And he found that these are drugs never. Woman am kwan ben so na deba. One am more clearance wo deba. Control measures ben and wo de atu kwan mu a eso wo deba. On sendro ni bi what is a tramon. These are very high, level painkillers. And in some circumstances, medically, it may be important to use it on the patients. But it is not something that is open up for everybody to go and buy. Who controls our pharmaceutical industries? One the show who call drugstore, pharmacies, pharmaceutical shops near there. One there has a drop in the waha. What are the audits? Do people go around? For me, this is pathetic. Look at how the woman is crying. And you know, and then unam ye street so otumu say yan kola no nro anya kukudro bonia wo mudi ye nyoma look entina make no say illegal mining we ho ayade mienu na abaye o man mu abesai ye nsase asai ye nsuo asai ye forest ni ade papa ba ko aye ni say most of these boys are ye drug addict no bebre no akogu ho and entina ye hu basabasa yo awo ye street mu bebre no na nka boys nyina gukurom ha menua enya agro so wo mining area ti se meme hoyi na nka wo hu boys ni bi wo muti bia any said you muti wo mudi gu mines nim na nka ya de wo mu gukurom ha when you want to drive around anajo
honorable, are you saying say you try illegal mining Galamsey?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying say I am saying say the illegal drugs ya de bano.
Yes.
Say mebuno no. What do you say?
Yeah.
Say mebuno no. Inti at the end of the day no, ono so when say illegal way bi wo ho betimi anye ska no, no aso ne ho akogum. So it is difficult to control them. Inti for me, we must crack the ship now. In run free never egui animals internationally. Egui animals BBC call a documentary on Ghana. On those drugs. What's the name of those drugs?
So Timaking,
and
Tafrodol, and a Super Royal 225.
Those medicines are very horrible ones, very tough ones.
Yeah.
One more.
High dosage of
the whole world looks as if though you are the champion of the whole world.
Yeah.
What do I say? So it is easily to be addicted to it.
And in the documentary, Nigeria.
And I understand it also gives you so many serious libido or whatever. Your edge for sex becomes so high. So the youths are going for it. And the end of the day, no, within 10 years, no, until 40 years, no,
Honorable, the unfortunate thing about up in the documentary, and it said now Nigeria is pointing fingers at Ghana because, according to Nigeria, they have tightened their borders. And even
that's on a lighter note.
Yes,
anyway.
Yes, I know. Vinod Sharma, or of Eview, South Pharmaceutical Company, Mumbai, India, no more drone. Okay, so Nigeria there, tighten on borders. And to see baby borders no loose Ghana. To amude and
can you imagine?
Ghana.
Border Ghana there, your border loose no. Who didn't want to ask you? Share idea John Jinapo, Minister for Energy Kokanani. Say yet to me cran yoma obi anya contract or kra nneoma ma ECG no ne ya kra nneoma no etua over $500,000 ne de nneoma na abegu port ye enclare nneoma no e wo ho na demurrage achi no ne aton ama obi 100,000 Ghana cedi no nipa na akokle no asanso abeton ama ECG $300,000 obo menua, are we really sick? What's wrong with us? So for me, we can get those who are doing this. We can get them. What do you say? Because we are we na nya sunsuma asam enya sunsuma asam and we kwasori na enya sunsuma asam. What do you say? Aya asam a physical nipa ana di nro ne ba. Say ya man nkrata so won fambra eye nipa na man nkrata wasan a wode ba woni e clear drone baby e de koni ade na enya sunsuma asam. We can get them, we can trace them. Ori ase adwin o menua wo de oba akonya o sika boni akonya wo ni wo ma kwatena brochire di o na woni e wa ha na wo sai wo mo de nya sika no e wo mo daachi be ye de o man daachi e be ye de se sai ye mabunu ni nrobo ni wi a o man daachi be ye de
onabunim se
oni pe ni abadai
senroi they can cause breathing problems,
yes,
and seizures,
yes,
o taking overdose e betimi ekun
easily, quickly. Ebe kunkra into respirational problems. Bebre ayenya no. Eye nro yi bia. He etode bia ho. Enye wo mo ekotonum deliberately nkra na ye at risk. You can be ill of just headache. What they are say? Obe call for Africa we be obe wo say we nso ye painkiller ni bia. No asese bia ma. When you not intentionally wanting to take it, you may end up taking that medicine. And crofo bebre wa I'm saying you to ni bi ba ko bi say we free mu ya me refi ni din. Or hospital no mo prescribe droma no. Unfortunately, na nya duro aseso ofa no.
Yeah. Koda
for duro no me duro no ku no a enya koda wuo no. See, we are all at risk. We are at risk. Now we the ababenya osika boni. No wasisa we yire no makoti na brochire. Na Ghana for manwu and say ada we na politicians echire. We no na politicians echire. For me, for some of these things it's so passionate I feel very bad about it.
Especially as a parent.
As a parent, I have 4 kids. So you ask yourself, look, it doesn't matter what kind of school they are. There are human beings there. They work with their friends, they read, they are so exposed. So the point is that have you seen your own yet? And Uncle said, those who are privileged kids, no, so the point is, we are at risk. Now, Wababa Usika Bonnie, as a Sagan, as say Ghana, we didn't run about Tuntoanya Usika. Now, Cotton baby, now we know, now we're enjoying a Ghana for, and you will see politicians behind this. For me, it is part of the resetting agenda. And I believe that some of these things, we must quickly get those who are behind it. Let's bring them to book. Oh, na, dear Bear, and I pray, and I believe, say, and see that. Say, 1 year His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, anya wama reshemu, ama wamu post, ministerial appointments, boards, any various institutions, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama can be a Cape Coast nanu our babesra ya or dinner sibre yen. Asem o kan ya ni say, abaya di babota and one ya di baboban. So if you are an appointee of this government, now the office and Crawford who nani win your deal, no more power chow na paper nyoma, said you bear yanchi or now when you be big cranshaw bottom. In fact, I have so much belief in them, they won't do that. Everybody that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama are appointing, I trust the person, I believe so much, nobody would dare want to try that.
Okay.
Let us clean the system. A year, and then Donald Trump na pamun Crawford for America no. Na den yenso yam ye na yentna ha. Nyankopo pesa wo American ya so kom ya wo America. O yes wo ya Ghana ni ntu ya wo Ghana ha no. Aden yensie ye de ni yen clean ya ha, ni yen metna na me sister Linda. He should be measured with his promises. She should be measured. She's a nice woman. I'm a penasa she's my sister, preocupe. But you see, we are in Accra, Ghana, your own antron. Well, she should be measured with her promises. And then she should rather work hard. You see, a professor said to me that if you have done something, you don't use 3 hours to explain what you have done. The things that you have done will speak for themselves. What you say? Na Messi Abrosan to us 200. I don't need to explain to you some Messi Abrosan 200. Abrosan na Messi no esi ho wanka so de wani behu. What you say? And intino, let us rather work hard. For me, minyaya enke nyina anye din ye kum. Memi ye kasa ne ye dwuma yayo. Kasa no enye dwuma yayo. Look, abanya etwem no ya goji sika over whatever $1 million, $250 million. I was part of Works and Housing Committee. Say yeah, the Baya Accra beautification and rebuilding any or any river.
That's canoeing.
Sikano tie look, we have a lot of investigation to do. When we say Sikano, you this Sikano manasa project baku say pre ni wa obeti we was actually so aka say when ye die adanu ye die chire no committee ni ye die chire no ye call achimota down ho baby ACP down ho baby and na gata bi enu say wo me lay gata kitu bi a endru $10,000 and wo me lay wo ho sika na san ye kan ye see the $63 million akọ support to COVID fight after getting more than $3.something billion from all over the donor agencies, IMF, World Bank.
No, but I want to know more about inspection. I'm going to say Achimota Hefa side. ABC
down on. Who's a gata kakra KBC?
Yeah.
Hey, my lay block kitu bia ye kakra bi wo.
And I'm just say then project.
Those are the project is it Garrick project? What's the name? Sir, a project name Accra beautification Garrick project.
Yeah.
And no, and yes, yeah, this is $250 million. Ye dear, we have $150 million. Yeah, can you see $250 million? No, yeah, the most $63 million. They are supporting COVID-19 fight. COVID-19, abua COVID-19 wahu. As a sack of water in a buying, one musha tarifita kwa sorry them COVID-19 asi. Sika wama women yano. Sika wama women yano. Nyankupon kwanim. Look, why should we be crying in this country again? Why should we be crying? Ona kwa nyaninye ye ko sika kwa kafia nyama Adom TV na kekenya ye kwa ame sika nyana ko ko Adom bi ona
natui
wanya skani bi wa obetra na wo kesa akasa ma wo mo
Elder Bondi.
I Sputnik vaccine a yakin. Kesika dodra sa minister ni ekro. Wo ma wia kam na fo ye diabetes just adan. And na mudi sandro ya be gu Ghana ha. Na mudi say Ghana mebunu. Na mo nyam sika no makoto abrochire. Na sika no nim. They won't even put the money in the bank so. Do you know what? Because all this kind of two bank here bet you. So we are minister ye ni mo salary. Ye ni my allowances ni ade a woji ye. Wa mu awunye adwuma bi anka ho and the seven say account why a month is $200 million see ya bet you into nim do am yes can e big poly tank bo ma hwe nsu egu so ana e bi kura ya se nkola bi akọ bi ya se ya na fom from you ya se me da mente
ona me da say
oh aso agai sana obi say me me de sika gu poly tank mu
da bi anyawo
it's not. They're not you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Are people saying that?
Me see. Opa bisadeko kamo. You see me discuss with polytank mu.
Hey.
And because I'm doing renovation in my house. And there's a polytank in front of my house. You see, makofa Indian phone na AC dana mame. And I'm this gegu polytank mu. And na omo wies kanti ma pamu workers no. So I had one of the NDC people come and sit on me. See, madam for power, ablekuma, me person me bo consensus, you know. Me tell me, hey, Radin Yankumo politics.
I got also home be no papa.
Na CJ. Na sebi. Se me osika. Ube me discuss be good politank mu. Na me dey be see abonte. Me fancy fi ho.
Wa mini papa no na me ho timi ka be ka so timi wa dey.
Na dey be see abonte.
So when we in fact, I don't have a proof of what I'm going to say. Meaning, we almost see a senior yet you. You see a big crowd to me at this kind of teaching a polythene bag more. No, they are share polytank.
No, to for not.
No, we ain't sure go so. So we buy only saying sure polytank is you on an amboa. And too bad then who says kind of room. Inti minianum bia naifo. Yesi mu start hwehwe politank mu. Yesi mu be ubi. Ebi gum. It's a serious matter here kan wan say. Edru wo ya here kan no. I believe say BNI for police for mummy e 9 emmo ye to yen sori ntam. Wo ma di ba ye, wo ma fahin yen chiri wo mu nyina. Ni regulate edru. Anya sa. Ya kan wo be fi say wo de wo ba wo baby papa. So ni mu a na obe hu se de hwede ya ma me yisu wo be hwe no na ni baba akopɛ hwede aye no me sramo Ghana ye ba akopɛ aba America na epam yen nti si anye ye de yi a ehe ni ye bɛkɔ ye besrem sika no nya ne bebre ahe na obedie ahe wo si dan bebre a na no na me su se oh me ma mienu kɔ school akan kitinkiti mienu na wo fi ho
ha ebo
so omo so kwa
abeka wo
fra me yire edan ye gu fi ho asie kakraka mansion amesie si we nti wo be ndan you don't even want to stay there what you say mesremo sika na ahia na ye bedi
honorable Ben manura ho na yenko wie wo honorable Fondi so
CJ
3 minutes pacho
the way is just some reminders. Me remind His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Me wish, me prayer is for him to succeed as a president for this 4 years. The fact of the matter is, in as much that I'm an MPP person, Ghana is first. So I want him to succeed. But I just want to remind him of certain promises that he made. That Enra Dominic sending me a friend is saying flyer for saying na me bahano. Made 2 mistakes. Madam Fuendi Sinibi or Sansu Assemblyman. I say, Honorable, work out the year. Be mama can maybe a point. Asemi me say pay mo oso kwa bisa mama say da be na all sha se etua assembly members no because assembly members are there omo de omo order that me see the assembly members are there the local government the MCE and the DC are not supposed to pay them are not supposed to pay the assembly members the assembly members were elected and they have been in office for the past 2 years or see or pese mimbisa say da be na ye sha say ye tuo muka because mama give ni first salary wa give ni de ministers are giving omo de MPs are omo de omo first second in fact omo second salary because March February omo age
that's February end
oh but I want this into an kaya
ya ka wa ya MP
my MP da wo my MP da wo me call parliament as an abondi eba o me see atua
what the catcher
enye de ma me nje o ka ye nje o ka o
February sika
enye de ma me nje o ka ye nje o ka ya choka they are asking say that be na ye tia asem mesneka enra Saturday no me kwa agbogburushi me Saturday anapa bia me kwa agbogburushi me ni me wa me akodi dwa ena anti ya me to brode wo no ho also nyambo tell me here capital them so to bossy say mama I see women's bank no awie women's bank women's bank na fiti manager so be see cleaner so omo nyina ye mba no ye wie by March almost at juma into the bomodin say kakra na wo no fa wie February na March ye nko ho na ye nko eden mi ko gi loan ni bi eden en ma because general no pokwa jimai and ebeye the manager e wo ho obenya oversight responsibility as a vice president no e wo bank women's bank no akwakoje then madam fupa or your farmer
that's
or your cocoa farm
that's
what you doing and no friend me or say cocoa farmers almost say no my no
si fa mame
no my o de cocoa farm but nso no ensha se eto nti da be na John Mahama eba be ye irrigation na so be ye ma cocoa farmers no na adia cocoa na ma da ben and am see o flyer na ya se ni mame no mini bonding eba. Since on also every for to me maybe son said that ben yes
Okay, that's it. I'm on yes sir.
Oh, MPP for no. You train one say from day one, mo starting criticizing your mama. Into Ubahano, idea who criticize you on why any yempo no. No much I say criticize it. Many mama, woman bank ba. There's no two ways about it. Resetting agenda no basu den. Mosha His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and a president Ayatu Abama within 2 weeks waiting me in the cabinet ministers. There's no way and see that. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Washebia, no, Odi super 60 ministers, Bimpa ho, Sani Ekono, and Intino, Obi Biara, whether I'm part of it or not. What's important is that John Mahama succeeds.
But I'm waiting for you.
Okay, no problem.
You have to be part of the four. But 1 minute.
More fire.
Look, there are certain people that John Mahama have to be very careful not to let them out. Because they were holding the fort for the NDC in this country, especially when it comes to the media space.
Yes.
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 In fact, when you go on radio with him, he will not allow you to talk.
No.
In fact, he will make sure even a grow for say a penny, people. CJ, where is a NIMPSA? Mama, I'm begging you, a NIMPSA.
Yeah, Bernard and NIMPSA.
Kwekubuahi. Naziru Mohammed. Adekoka. Dwaso. These are people who have fought for the NDC.
Look, like I keep saying, we have more competent members of NDC.
Yes.
I believe in my heart that I'm part of those competent people. I can do anything, every job, every responsibility I can hold perfectly because I'm just an accomplished person in business myself for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Just as any other individual I want NDC mo. You see, so I'm not so key. Say I'm familiar, I just say Jatom Debi. I have spoken to my constituency people. What is important, they say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama must succeed. And therefore, the NDC will continue to have future. And yes, oh, Debbie, tie. And yeah, Nintendo man, no. I'm sure, say, your man, because he catches the eye of the president. And that's what it is. Again, share 60 ministers. Parliament, we are more than 180. Constitution so far, more than 50% were parliament. Regional ministers alone is 16. We free marker 44. 44, so Ubefa even 34 were parliament. Out of 180, you can see the pressure on His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And some of us have not been appointed yet. It is not any news. Let's just say, sir, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama must succeed. That's what we are waiting for.
All right. He cannot. We will not allow.
No. Are you part of the appointment committee?
No. You see,
are you part of the committee?
Sometimes me need to call Joy Prime. Early morning know about. Or we know Adom. Or we know about. There are people who Charlie. And then the last person, Peter Boama Otokuno.
Do you know why you are doing this? You are just inciting people.
No. These are people that you have killed yourself for the party. I'm not.
No, you see, you don't need to kill yourself for the party.
No.
Just because you want
cannot wait for people to come and enjoy. We'll not say
boy.
Peter Boama Otokuno.
Adom 106.3 FM.